Hey Suge, I'm Charmaine, creator of Purposely Petty. Thank you for joining me each week as I welcome guest hosts who have managed to bring pettiness and courageous honesty in precarious spaces. Now, if you're unashamedly brave, navigating tough spaces, or just plain old petty when you have to be, then this is a safe space for you. But remember, being petty without a purpose is just plain old me. I'm purposely petty, baby. I don't care.
I feel like this is knowledge. This is free game. So y'all need to be taking notes. Take notes. If you are in the Purposely Petty audience, you need to take notes.
If you need some help with revenge, just DM me because I've done a lot. I can help you get there.
Let me put her stuff on the screen.
So y'all stop playing. The other thing is, like, if I'm in like business friendships and stuff and things fail, or you do something to me like steal my information or whatever, I like to buy your domains.
Yeah.
Whatever your business name is.
I have watched her do that, and it is funny every single time.
Whatever your business name is, you do something to make me mad, you will not have the website. Or you can have it for a small price of $1,699. So I own now probably like 80, 85 domains.
You have to get to the place where you realize, you know what? This ain't it. You know what? This really ain't it. And it's nothing wrong with me saying this ain't it. Regardless of if you have kids, regardless of if you put in 10 plus years, whatever, 5 years, 3 years, 6 months. If it ain't it, baby. And it ain't no need of you staying around hoping, like y'all said, like that baby daddy gonna propose to you, because he's not. Okay.
With them diamond chip ring, people always say, I want a Proverbs 31 woman. I want a Proverbs 31 woman. You know, I want to be a Proverbs 31 woman. And you know how we've been taught that. But over the summer, I started to think, well, what type of man covers or elevates a Proverbs 31 woman? What is a Proverbs 31 man? Like, what position did he hold in life? What type of environment did he create for his wife, for her to be propped up and to be praised?
Full stop. What type of environment did he create for his wife? Full stop.
Yeah. Let's go there.
There you go. What did he do? A week. Get it together, bitch. That's what.
And it's sad because people then come to you and say, well, you shouldn't be that type of way, or you shouldn't do those type of things. But this is who I am. Why should I have to change my spirit because there are leeches out here who want to drain my spirit?
You just gotta vibrate higher. You gotta vibrate so high that you get rid of all the stragglers. That's it.
And I did. And that's when I feel like I met the person that I'm with now. Like, I was like, girl, you cannot be vibrating that low, that you out here crying over a nigga who worked at a paper book factory. He out here binding books, and you write books.
Okay.
That we're not accepting.
Yeah.
God is for everybody, regardless of if you don't agree with their lifestyle choices or what. He is for everybody. He's for everybody. And we're not in the space as a whole to just for everybody to come, because then if they don't subject to your ways of thinking and your cliques and your, you know, if they don't take on the form of how we do over here at Pentecostal of praise, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? POP, that's how we do. Like, no, why have we become gangs? That is
comment. And then people are coming up and they now y'all arguing and you arguing, everybody got stuff to say, and there's discord amongst the body of Christ, and the world looking at us like every week you posting something dramatic about the church.
Now, why would I want to be a part of that?
Why? I wouldn't. I'm in the church, and I don't, and a lot of these people, I don't even want to go to your church. So, I mean, much less
truthfully, honestly, disrespectfully, don't even want to pull up at your edifice.
I don't. Like, stop doing that.
All right, it's almost time for Purposely Petty. Y'all need to get ready, because I'm ready. This is cutest. I'm going to look every time. Every Thursday, I'm going to be cute. That's about it. See y'all in a little bit.
Happy Thursday, y'all. Are y'all tired? I'm kind of tired today, but I look cute with my little wig. Y'all know I've been wearing my little wigs every week. Looking like my mother today. I really feel like I look like my mom today, which is like good because my mom is a bad one. She's pretty. Hey, Mom, I know you're watching at the Bible study. Hey, girl, I'm going to make sure I keep my language PG today. Okay, so tonight I'm really excited. This is episode 21, but this is also the second segment of A Peek Inside the Man Cave. Last week we had Mal, which is my brother, my little brother, and we had Shelton, and theirs was Go Ahead and Free Yourself. It was one man who was divorced and another one who's currently going through a divorce, and they got real. They got real with it. And the comments was on fire. The comments was doing a lot. It was a lot of controversy in the comments, but it was great. So yeah, I'm really excited about tonight's show with Chi and Mr. Brad. Okay, I'm excited about them being up here. This episode is Get Your Mind Right. So we're going to focus on mental health, relationships, fatherhood, parenthood, all that jazz. We're going to talk about all the things. But first, if you are if you are a normal viewer of Always Charmaine or Purposely Petty, first of all, you need to share this on your page so more people can watch it. And also make sure you're commenting in the little chat box. This is a conversation between all of us. The next thing is, if you watch, I do the announcements every single week. I do these announcements first. So I'm only going to do half of the announcements now, and then I'll do the other half like a little bit later in the show. So if you or someone that you know is currently going through a breakup, a separation, or divorce, I have a breakup support group on Facebook called the Breakup Toolkit, where there's resources there, financial, emotional, mental, all types of support to try to help you get through that rough time. Breakups are hard. Divorces are even harder. And sometimes you just need someone to talk to who actually understands what's going on. So we have that available for you. Also, I created the Breakup Toolkit, and I'm doing beta boxes right now because I want to make sure I curate an amazing piece of product for you. So it's just pieces of things that I felt like will make you feel good if you're going through a rough time. So it's the Love You Always Wanted in a box. You can find all of that on alwayscharmaine.com. Okay, I'm getting ready to I'll talk about other stuff later. I'm getting ready to introduce the very first guest co-host. Super excited. I grew up with this guy, okay? You know what? When he gets up here, I'm going to sing something from one of his early albums. Because I was randomly singing it the other night in the shower. And I was like, why am I singing this song? Like, I don't even know, but I'm going to sing it a little bit. But first, before I introduce him, I'm going to read his bio. Okay, give me a second, y'all. Boom, here we go. Robert Ortega. I feel like I'm so country saying that. Can I just say Chi? Because that's what I'm going to say. I'm saying that. Chi was born in Dunn, North Carolina, August 7th, 1985. That man about to be 36, y'all. He about to be 36 in his... Okay. He grew up in Sanford, North Carolina, where he graduated from Lee County Senior High School in 2003. He went on to study mass communication and broadcasting at the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. If I'm talking fast, it's because I am, okay? Although he didn't complete his studies, he did pick up a lot of valuable tools that has helped him when pursuing his dream of breaking into the music industry. His last project, titled The Truman Show, released in October, and it's like really, really good. You need to go download it if you don't have it. I downloaded it out. It was a whole bop. So you need to go get it. The Truman Show released in October of last year, and it's currently streaming on Spotify and most music platforms. He released a music video for the song titled Killer Dose, and that is available for viewing on YouTube. He is the father of 2 children, ages 10 and 8. My God, they're adults. Oh my God. Ages 10 and 8, and currently works as a supervisor for the nutritional care department at Scotland Memorial Hospital in Laurinburg, North Carolina. A father, a brother, a son, a partner, a philosopher whose philosophies all come from life experiences. Everybody. Yes. Everybody, put your hands together and clap for my friend, Mr. Chi-Chi. Come on in here.
What up, man?
What up?
Oh man, maintaining.
Maintaining. So I'm gonna tell you the song that I was singing.
What was that?
Times is hard, they gotta get better.
I knew that's the one. How did I know you was about to say?
You through the rainy weather, and even
How you
though
remember that?
well, I don't know. Cause the words are funny though.
The song is 20 years old, man. How you just pop that in your head?
I don't know. I'm in the shower doing my face regimen, because I got to keep this skin tight.
Was you supposed to sing that, right?
Was
you supposed to sing that?
I think we should do it.
I think we. Oh no, I have to change the words.
Times is hard, they gotta get better. What's the other part? Even though it's still this rainy weather, and even though I'm living well, Lord, please help a child. Yeah, that's what she was doing. Can you please help a child? And then she went flat. Can you help me? I was like, girl,
you remember that? You remember the whole joint?
Yes, I remember all of it.
Well, I think I wrote that too.
Yeah, you're a way better writer now. Somebody said bust it down.
That was trash, man.
We can do another song. And I won't sing or sound like that. Okay.
So I do need you anyway.
How you been? Tell the people a little bit about yourself. I mean, I just read your bio, but like, how you been? How you dealing? How you good?
I'm good, man. This COVID mess going on and me working in a hospital. At first, it was a little hectic, being on ground zero where all this mess was at. So, maintaining through that. And then virtual learning with the kids is extremely rough, so dealing with that and me.
Are y'all
and
out of school yet?
Yeah, they got out a couple weeks ago.
I'm jealous.
So, and then with me and my girlfriend's work schedules and then the kids in school, it was crazy. So it's kind of glad that the year is over for the kids, but it's trying to work, man. And because I never stopped, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people was home and stuff, but hospital don't ever close. So I've been going 110 miles per hour ever since the last year and a half. So
thank you so much for your service and everything that you're doing to help people because it's rough. It's really, really rough. Appreciate it, man. For sure.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you. You teaching, man. So you in ground zero too.
I'm about to die out here. Okay.
Are y'all out yet?
No.
Oh wow.
No. What is there else to learn?
When y'all get out? Are you year round or something?
No. We don't get out until next Thursday.
Man.
I'm so happy to have you here. Yeah, almost there. Right before Juneteenth. I'm gonna cut up Juneteenth. I'm letting anybody know now. If you see me Juneteenth, mind your business and just let me do what I'm doing. Okay.
Got to, man. Got to.
Period. All right, I'm gonna bring our next guest host up here, and then we're gonna get into it. All right, so Brad, I'm right, y'all. I'm reading what he said. I didn't do this now, so don't nobody say nothing to me in the comments. Brad is a Jesus-loving 37-year-old white boy and is the epitome of chill. His super calm demeanor is the yin to his wife Shandy's yang. I love it. When we asked her to describe him, she said this: "My husband is the coolest dude you'll want in your circle. He is incredibly patient, loyal. He's closet funny, and he can cook his socks off, which is the way to my heart. I think the greatest asset Brad brings to the table is his selfless nature. He has taken my son in as his own and hasn't skipped a beat. They're literally best friends. But he's like that with everyone. He loves his people hard, and I think I saw that in him from the beginning, which made me fall in love. He matches me in that way. When he got our big screen TV for the living room, his words were, 'I get this stuff for others to enjoy.' Most importantly, he lets me be He lets me be me, and I rep Black as hard as it gets. She really does. But he wouldn't have it any other way. Brad and Shandy have been married for almost 6 years, and they have a lifetime to go. On his downtime, Brad enjoys traveling for food, watching movies with his family, and hosting events at their home. Everybody, without further ado, I need y'all to clap in the comments, okay? Brad is coming to the stage. Welcome, Brad.
What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up?
What's
What's
up?
happening?
What's up, brother?
Yes.
What's good?
What's good? I'm not yelling at him, Christy. I just talk loud. So, how have you been? What's going on?
I've been great. I've been great. First off, Chi, respect for what you do every day, man. Like I know that's not hard. But I know it is hard.
Thank you,
I know it's not easy. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out the way first and foremost. But Charmaine, you know us, we've been chilling. You know what I mean? You know how we do. We've been chilling.
Yes.
So I guess to Chi-Chi's point, you know what I mean, having a kid at home too during COVID with school is definitely difficult, virtual school. So it's been a challenge, but it's been great. I mean, I don't think our family's been tighter. You know what I mean? So it's been a really good season for us for sure.
Is that easy for you guys as fathers to, because a lot of people complain, we all in social media, a lot of people complain that they don't, especially women, they don't get the help or support that they need from their partners that live in the house with them. Like, is that like a automatic natural thing for you, or is it something that you had to like work up to doing? Anybody can.
I'll say
We
this.
keep it hot and truthful up here, so if you playing games, somebody gonna catch it in the comments.
I'll say it like this. Naturally, I'll say before COVID, I was very hands-on with the school stuff. So I was trying to always have a balance. You know, you don't want one person to be overwhelmed, but I ain't gonna lie. Like when COVID hit and my work schedule got crazy, I slacked. You know what I'm saying? I slacked with the kids. So it probably was more on her. But as I seen grades slipping and stuff, I tried to, you know, pick it up more. But I think it come naturally, but also kids just seem to be drawn more to mother for some reason, 9 times out of 10. So us, sometimes we just let that roll off and kind of push the responsibility, but I try, you know, my best.
That's honest.
But, yeah, I slack sometimes.
For us, I mean, we communicate as much as we possibly can. So when virtual school hit, we both work 8 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So it was a challenge. She works from home. I wasn't at the time, and so I had to go in the office part time. So it was very much a balancing act between our jobs to try to figure out how we manage the situation. You know, she has responsibilities with work. I have in the office responsibilities. He had school all during that time, so it was you know, kind of half days on and off, and we just kind of collaborated and went day to day with it. Shout out to him. He's great at school. He loves it. He loves to learn. So he was all in. So he made it easy on us. But it was so new. There was inevitable challenges that were going to come up. So when he did kind of slip back a little bit, you know, Shandy's more to the academic than I am. So she was all in on making sure that he was staying tight with his grades and doing what he needed to do. And we had times where we had to help with his homework and stuff. You know, it was a new experience for him too. You know, he totally missed all his friends, and he kept asking why he had to go to this school and why couldn't he be in the classroom with his friends and all that kind of stuff. And so he's also an only child at the moment. So he's at the house with 2 adults all day long. And you know, that's a tough thing, you know. So we had to manage that a little bit. It made us him and I a lot closer because I had to be his play buddy all the time. You know what I mean? Like when I was done work, I had 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I had to go, hey, let's go shoot hoops. Let's go in the backyard and throw the football. Let's do something. So you're not in this house just staring at a screen all day watching TV or playing video games. Like, let's go outside. Let's do something. So challenges for sure. But we just roll with it. You know what I mean? We just roll with the flow.
Yeah.
Camille said, trying to be present with your child while they're studying at home and you working outside the home is challenging. So shout out for y'all for doing your best. Yes, and let me go ahead and say Happy Father's Day. Happy early Father's
Thank
Day
you. Appreciate it.
to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank
For
you
sure.
so much for being great fathers. And speaking of fatherhood, like how did that change your life? Both of you are parents of Black boys, and we know with the climate of everything that's going on in our world, how are you raising your Black son? Like, what is that like?
Man.
If you
All
can
right.
keep it
So,
as raw as you want to, like we
all
get
right.
to it over here.
So for anybody that knows the area I stay in Robinson County. Um, they're still progressing as far as racism out here, with the Black to Native relations and Black to white relations out here. So my girlfriend is Native American and Black. So my kids are Native and Black, and I'm part Hispanic. So, it's difficult because most of their family they see are bright skinned Native Americans, so it's sometimes it's challenging because they go to a school that's mostly Native Americans, and it's a lot better than it was when I got out here. But when I first got to Pembroke, man, it was like I felt like I was in the 1960s. And I'm not trying to disrespect Pembroke by all means, but from a Black man coming from a place that was Black, white, and Mexican, and then coming and meeting natives for the first time, really a lot of Lumbee Indians. Shout out to the Lumbee Indians. And it was a rude awakening because, and it's not the whole county, but it's certain sections, and it was just a lot heavily racism. So it's like this stuff that you're seeing, that's happened in the last few years, that's been happening forever, that they've been catching on tape. It's like out here that was so prevalent. Like I even went through a few of those situations where if there would have been camera phones out around some stuff that happened to me in college, it would have made national news probably. So having a son who looks more Native than Black, looks fairly bright skinned, having to, and the school's not really like out here. Black History Month, they're not really deep diving into Black History Month. They're not deep diving into Black anything out here. So I have to try to instill some of this stuff in them, or they're just not going to know because they're not going to teach them. And then most of her family out this side is pure Native American, and that's all they see most of the time. So I got to really focus on that. That's a big point I have to drill in. So like a couple years ago, I officially like really stopped celebrating 4th of July, and I've been, we started doing a Juneteenth celebration. So stuff like that, I try to really drill in so they can get that, that culture, that history, because if not, they won't get it out here. So it's difficult. It's kind of difficult, but it's something you got to do. You got to do because a lot of stuff I didn't know growing up, I just learned along the way. Started studying myself, and it's crazy when you find out how things that you learn aren't really how things went. So I try to let them know, like, look, we got to go get this information ourselves because they're not going to give it to us. And the best way to keep a secret from most people who look like us is put it in a book. So we got to read. So it's the truth.
Oh, I know it. As an English teacher, folks do not like to read. Yep.
For us, Charmaine, for me specifically, it's a learning experience almost every day. I mean, I come into it not having to grow up in that environment, you know what I mean, of being Black in America. That's not happened to me, So I remember when Shane and I got married, one of our friends asked us, what do you think about raising a Black son? Whether it's Josiah or the kids we have, because that's how society will view them, regardless of what you want them to be viewed as. That's how they're going to be viewed. And so I had to come to grips with that. I had to understand what that actually meant. And so for me, it's been an educational process of just trying to understand as much as I can about what that means and how do I convey that in a way that educates him but doesn't make him fearful, and to show him what the world that he lives in is like, and how he's presented in that, and how he's viewed in that. And more so than anything, I just try to provide a foundation, a father figure foundation for him, and create a good moral foundation, so that he can, when he does go out in the world, he knows how to handle himself. He knows how to be composed and have patience with people, and understand that not everybody's going to think like him. And he's gonna encounter, hate or love from different groups and different areas, and he's gonna run into a whole bunch of different stuff. And not that it's okay, but that's just how it is. And so what Shane and I both do is try to show him what's real, but not shelter him away from it. When the whole George Floyd movement happened in here in Richmond, I mean, it was crazy. You know what I mean? Buses getting burned, and people busting downtown. Everything, statues getting tore up. Everything. I mean, it was crazy, and we didn't shelter him from it. We didn't throw him in the middle of it. You know what I mean? But he saw some of it. He heard about it, and he asked a lot of questions, and we explained it to him on his level so he could understand. And he sort of went through that experience with us, although at an 7 or 8 year old level. You know what I mean? And we just tried to shape his viewpoints a little bit, so it makes sense, and that he doesn't carry this disdain for anybody that looks at him differently. And if he's viewed different by someone else, well, then that's okay. You don't have to dislike someone because of how they view you. You know what I mean? It's all love. They don't like you because of the way you look. That's all right. Show them love anyway. You know what I mean? They don't know. They're ignorant. They don't know any different. They don't know you from Tom. You know what I'm saying? So just try to be respectful, conduct yourself accordingly, and hopefully in the however many years he's still here with us, we can cultivate a man from a boy. You know what I mean? And he can present himself well when he's no longer here. And so that's really what we try to do every day.
Yeah.
Charmaine, you know what?
Go ahead.
Charmaine, I don't want to interrupt you, but
no, go ahead.
Matter of fact, this conversation made me think of, you remember what happened to us in Fort Bragg?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And this conversation makes me think about like that night, and like how I have to prepare my son for nights like that. What were we? 18, 19?
18, 19, young.
On our way to a club probably, and get pulled over for being black on a Friday night probably, and how we looked up in this 10, 12 police cars out there for some kids. So just thinking of this whole conversation, it's really deep, man. It's really deep, because it sucks to have to teach a black kid how to act around police, and sometimes it boggles my mind that I have to have a conversation with my son on what to do if you're pulled over. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man.
Thank God we knew, because it ain't no telling what could have happened if we didn't. And it was not a lot of camera phones then. This is like 2003, 2004. Like nobody, if anything would have happened, nobody would have known the real story, because everybody was walking around with no kids. Like,
right.
So no, it was scary, but I was just like, man, my daddy gonna kill me if he's trying.
Yeah,
he's gonna kill me.
My mouth was no good back then. So.
We was talking, y'all. It's funny, but it's not funny. Like the trash that we was talking, no fear. It was no fear. But now, I would never
definitely
do
never. Like no,
I wouldn't even. I'd be like, okay,
right.
I gotta make it home. I gotta make it home.
Right.
Like, I don't need my mom. I don't need that.
Right, for sure.
So yeah, y'all, hold on. So a part of my show is, and I mean that, we're gonna switch the gears just a little bit. And I mean that this is basically when I will put a meme on the screen that's been circulating around social media, and you guys will say what your opinion on it is. Now, I picked this one because you both are partnered. You have a wife or a longtime girlfriend, and so I think it'll be cool for the viewers to see your viewpoint on this, because this is a major issue for a lot of women, and I just want to know your viewpoint. So here it is. When you happy with someone in private, you don't need to prove it on social media. Now, a lot of women's like, he need to post me. I need to be a WCW. He need to post me. Post me. If he don't post me, I got issues with that. I got issues. You know what I'm saying? I don't post me, actually. I don't want to be posted. Okay? Me don't. But a lot of women, this is truly, truly important for them. So, what are your thoughts? I'm going to put it on the screen one more time for the people who just got up in here. So this is, and I mean that, this is the meme. It actually came from Justin LeBoy's page. When you happy with someone in private with the little emoji, you don't need to prove it on social media. So this is coming to the guys. We're in the man cave. Now be honest. Sorry, I'm having girl, my watch, girl.
Brad, I'm gonna let you go first on that one.
Yeah, I go. No, I can. That's fine. I can totally go first. This, I don't. Gotta be careful. My wife's in the comment section. So my wife, I would say my wife sort of feels this way. You know, she's since loosened up a little bit because I'm a social media viewer, but I don't post at all. Like I'm not on social media at all. I used to be, but I mean, to be honest, I don't want to spend any time and energy to try to keep up with it. So, I try to hit the high notes on it. So, wedding anniversary, birthday, Mother's Day, like I post on those moments. You know what I mean? I show love on at those times. It's on rare occasion that it is random, but I am trying to get better at it because my view is just because I don't care about it doesn't mean that I still shouldn't. You know what I mean? She cares about it. It makes her feel good. You know, I try to take some time. I still definitely don't do it as much as I should. It's like reading the Bible, right? We all kind of do it, but it's not as much as we probably should. So that's kind of how I am with it. I try to remember to do stuff. I try to be better. I at least like all her stuff that she shouts herself out with. You know what I mean? Like when she puts her own stuff out there, I'll like and comment on it and things like that. But most often I just do the major holidays and anniversaries and stuff.
All right, G.
All right, so this here was at one point a major factor, you know what I'm saying, in my household, you know, a major problem. Like, so I used to be really active in social media, like post a lot of stuff, you know, whatever, crazy stuff, whatever. Since I've calmed down, I don't post a lot. But, and like my man said, like, I probably wasn't doing it at all, you know, and I think she felt like, if you're not posting me, you're hiding me. You're hiding me. Not even that you're not posting me. You're hiding me from why I exist. And I live by this theory of, man, I'm private. I don't want to invite people into my actual real life. Like, I wouldn't even post my real name if somebody wanted to report it that I wasn't using my real name. So then I had to put my real name up. But
I was
like
wondering
he said,
what that was about, because I've never seen his whole name up there.
Somebody reported me like 3 times. So Facebook made me send my ID in with my real name, and then they made me put my real name up there because somebody reported I was, and it was crazy. So I live by this theory that life, right? It's crazy, right? So I live by this theory that life begins when we log out. Like, this isn't real life to me. I come up in a social media era where we were on MySpace and Black Planet and all this other stuff. So like, to me, like, I already lived in the real world before this stuff took off. So like, it's like I didn't view it the same way. I don't view it the same way. It's not real to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a facade most of the time. Most of the people that you see posting all this happy stuff, they're not really happy. most of this stuff you see, it's all make believe, man. It's just a show. So I never really invested myself into doing that. So, but after some tug of war, I realized that, okay, I do need to show some acknowledgement. You know what I'm saying? So I've tried to get better with it. I still don't want people all in my life. So I'm not going to post everything. You're not going to see me post, I'm here and I'm there and we're eating here and we're there. Like, I'll post more of my stories than more so on my page because it'll disappear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And certain people will click on your stories, but everybody won't see your page.
Right.
But yeah, definitely that's crazy because that was man, that was a major tug of war in my relationship.
For real. Like, dudes who don't show anything in the man cave, when you talk to your boys, like, are there dudes like, I'm never putting her on my social media, I'm never gonna do this because they doing X, Y, and Z in somebody else's DMs, or is it because they're really private, or is it because they really just don't care?
Yeah, and I understand all sides. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I get it from the female point of view too. You know what I'm saying? Because and then especially when you got a circle of friends, and then your friends is posting their girl every day, 10 times a day, and you ain't, and it's like you looking crazy. So it's like, oh man, you know what I mean? So I get it, man. I get it, and it's just like the fairy tales, man. Like, men grew up, like boys grew up fantasizing about being Michael Jordan, man, being athletes and actors. And it's like you looked at the fairy tales growing up on Disney and women were princesses and they met Prince Charming and love and marriage and stuff like that. So I think it's just different DNA, man. So a lot of us just view the world a different way. But as far as social media, like, it's just not real to me. And I love it for free promotion. I love it for stuff like this. It gives you a platform to reach people. But, I still not want to believe that you should, you don't have to give your whole life to everybody. You don't owe them that. I don't owe anybody anything. I don't have to tell you anything. What is it going to do for me, for you to know I'm happy in my relationship or I'm sad in my relationship? The people who are close to me, they know what they need to know.
Yeah.
So that's how I view it, but I understand females want to be displayed. So, we give and take. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yes. Shandy said, I just wanted Brad to post me because I'm fine as wine, getting better with time. Period, sis. You are. You looking bomb all the time, and I love to see it. And I love to see it. So, y'all, I actually skipped over a question, and I didn't even mean to, but it was one in the comments, so we got to go back real quick. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. So we were talking about raising Black sons. If you're just joining us, welcome to Purposely Petty. This is a peek inside of the man cave. So the question is, your children are in grade school. Curious if there are any conversations or practices that you wish you all would have had or instilled in early childhood as it relates to race. Like, so you're saying wish that they from their parents or to their children? Just want to make sure I'm asking. This is my sister Camille, and I love her so much. So is it for them when they were growing up, or is it just for their children? And while that's happening, I'm about to be queuing up this second meme, which is gonna like a segue into our next thing.
Hold on, Shamik. I want to go back to the first meme question while we're waiting on this clarification.
Okay.
What's your take on it from you're in the man cave with two dudes right now. What's your take on it?
First of all, now in the beginning, I was like, I'm a nigga, so I don't care. But no, when I was married, I was super. Oh, this is my MCM. He was showing me, it was doing all that. But in the beginning, it was great, and then it got ugly, and we were still posting stuff, and we weren't happy. So it's like, for what? And then I know people who post stuff about their husbands and wives, and they don't even like them. So I'm just like, I don't need that. You could post my arm, you could post my nails, you could post part of my wig. Don't post me. Like, I'm good. I'm good on that. I used to. It used to be super important to me. I'm telling social media now, you would never see who I'm gonna marry next until I'm pregnant and my kids probably one. Like I'm just, I'm done with all of that. I'm good. People can see me. That's, you know, I don't. My friend done had 2 kids, then got married, and ain't nobody seen her husband. But she is so happy. They done bought 2 houses, cars, everything. You ain't seen nothing. And it's like we kind of just learn like that stuff doesn't matter. And it makes me wonder. Yeah, you can post my arm. It makes me wonder, why is that so important to you? Like, why are you having full arguments with your nigga or with your man because he ain't post you? Like, what's up? What's going on internally that you gotta have that validation? Because social media can be gone today, here today, gone tomorrow. And then what? How are you gonna fulfill that need to be validated? And then, you know, when I was up here in my player days, I definitely didn't want to be posted because I'm dating everybody. I don't need you posting me, my guy. Don't do that. Take that down. Nobody, don't say, yeah, I'm with this. You are not with me. Nobody knows you're with me. Take it down, please. I don't want that. Don't do that.
Wow.
What's the saying? Yes. Yeah, just, you know, validate me when it matters. Validate me, you know, on stuff that I care about. I don't really care about that. But if I'm killing it in real life and you don't say nothing, then I got an issue. Like if I'm killing it and you doing this, you doing that, and you feeling out, and the nigga is like intimidating stuff, then that's when I got an issue. Like, why can't you hype me up? Why you not hyping me up? I just closed this deal that you know I've been working on for months. And you can be like, oh, congratulations, and be dry. Then I'm going to fight you. And then I'm wrong because I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? No. So I'm good on that.
That's why I've been sharing these comments and stuff. When she posts her stuff, I'll comment on it. Like I'll definitely, you know, hype her up in the comments and stuff. I just don't post her myself all the time.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to get better, babe. I'm trying to get better.
Y'all good and y'all happy. And the thing about you, Brad, like you supported when ain't nobody even looking. Cause I'm trying to say we sung at the Jazz Fest 2 years ago. He was doing the pictures. He had the camera. He was getting all her friends. Like he did it when it mattered. And I was
in
here
real life.
In real life, open his home to us, so we could have dinner and all of that. Like that's the stuff that matters. And I feel like a lot of women, you arguing with your man over something that don't matter. Sis, calm down. It ain't that deep. Find something else. Period. Don't post me because if we break up, your mother will be devastated. So what happened to so-and-so? What happened with you? And it's funny because it is dudes who will post every girl that they're dating all the time. That's why I kind of made up that and we'll talk about that later too. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just do it now. So a man that can't keep a woman. So you know how they always put this pressure on women to keep their man. You know, you gotta cook for him, you gotta clean, you gotta blow them off, you gotta blow your back out and do all these things. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look like an Instagram. You gotta, you know, keep it all together to keep your to keep your man, or somebody else gonna do it if you don't do it, that sort of thing. But you never hear people saying, oh man, you better do this if you want to keep your woman. You never hear that. Nobody never talks about that. I got my own things, and if you follow me on social media, you'll know I've been going in on some of these dudes, especially the ones who go to their mamas for every little thing, or the ones who just are gung-ho for Kevin Samuels. It's so many dudes. I'm like, oh, you didn't grow up with a father. That's why you can't keep a woman. Like, that's what I say the things that people say about women. Oh, you didn't have a father, so you can't keep a man. Nigga, you didn't grow up with your daddy, so that's why you can't keep a woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm through with it. So what is that? Like, both of y'all have been in successful, sustaining relationships. What is it that you did to keep your woman?
Oh man, anybody who's been in a. Go ahead, Brad. Go ahead.
I think it's different for I think it's different for everybody, and each relationship. But I mean, I had this thing, to your point, Charmaine, about you didn't grow up with a father. I mean, that definitely matters. You know, the example that you have from early childhood absolutely matters. And how you see the parental relationship between your father and mother, I mean, it is crucially important. It starts right there from an early age. But how you navigate it going forward as well, the circle of friends you run with, and are they womanizers? You know what I mean? Are you around dudes that are just like, discarding women here and there? They don't care about relationships. You know, they're the 45-year-old dudes in the club. You know what I mean? That look weird, trying to pick up young girls. You know what I mean? It's like, you ever gonna get past that? Are you like, what's up? You know, and a lot of it starts early though. So I mean, me growing up, my dad and my older brother, who's 9 years older than me, they sort of reinforced it as I came of age into my dating season, and dating age. They were like, don't let us find out that you're out here mistreating women, because that's not the example that was set for you. So whatever that looks like for each person, that has that father relationship, father figure, it doesn't necessarily have to be you know what I mean, blood. But if you have a well-balanced man that respects women, I think that carries over. You're right though, from the question, like, you don't really hear about that. It's not a thing. It's not a stigma that's out there, man. You know what I mean? The Rolling Stone is the thing. It's like, and it's like accepted. Like, oh, that's just what he do. You know, he just bounced and from one to one, and you know, he got 8 kids and 8 baby mamas, and you know, it's like, why is that accepted though? You know, why is that okay for him, but a woman that's got multiple relationships, she's viewed completely different. She's supposed to be the stable one for whatever reason. I've never understood that myself.
You're walking heavy.
I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, this is the man cave and stuff, but at the same time, this is it. You can't call yourself a man if that's how you act.
Period.
I just don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to come for any dude. I don't know their situation. You know what I mean? If that's you, I don't know your situation. I'm not trying to be judgmental, but that's not how it should be. I'll say that. I don't believe that is how it should be.
Yeah. And like he said, man, it has a lot to do with what you grew up around, who you grew up around, what you were taught, what you seen. And you know, with me, hey, I was on the other end of that spectrum. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't. I moved around a lot. You know, I bounced from here to there, so I seen different men do different things, act different type of way with women. Different cousins put me on to this game. Different homeboys put me on to this game. So a lot of trial and error, man. You know, I've been the good for nothing dude. You know what I'm saying? The dog. I've been you know what I'm saying? I've been every part of the spectrum of the line you probably could be. So to go through life in many different situations, you know what I'm saying, you learn through each experience. You learn when you get your heart broken, so then you start breaking hearts. You know what I'm saying? You learn that hurt people. And then that goes to even mental health, man. When you're young and going through a lot of things and you never deal with that stuff, when you get in relationships, you know, you project that energy onto your partner. So for this recent the relationship I'm in now, that I've been in for a very long time, it's been ups and downs. You know, it's been good and bad, because you know, especially when you grow up with somebody, you go from pretty much a boy to a man with the same person. You know, you learn a lot about each other, and you keep fighting though when you're in something real, and if it's worth fighting for, you just fight through it, man. And you keep each other. Ain't nobody trying to keep. She's not keeping me. I'm not keeping her. We keeping each other, because at the end of the day, man, you know, it's not a lot. It's not a lot out there, man. It's not a lot out there. So when you find somebody that you can have a good partnership with, you might want to hold on to that, you know, and do what you can to keep it going, even if you've made some mistakes or if they've made some mistakes. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, like, it's like I tell people, been in a job. Some of my employees sometimes, you know, job, bad management or whatever. And they like, man, I'm gonna quit this job. They've been working here 15 years. And it's like, really, when you start over, sort of just like a relationship, you're gonna deal with the same kind of stuff. You got to learn how to fight through it, you know, and stick with it if it's worth it. If it's worth it. So
yeah, to your point, if you're gonna go from one relationship to the next, I mean, you're still 50% of the relationship. So whatever you took from the last one that maybe you didn't realize with some of your faults or downfalls and caused some of the issues in that relationship, you're gonna take to the next one unless you realize that you make mistakes too. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I mean, I'm definitely thankful for my relationship. I mean, my wife definitely keeps me grounded. She checks me all the time. You know, in some of my speech, but in a lot of times in my way of thinking, and you know, it's a challenge when you come from a bad situation or a broken situation or something like that to try to overcome that on your own. And I think we both kind of touched on the peer group aspect of that growing up. Like that has a big impact too. You know, I mean, I've had my season of just doing my thing. You know, when I first moved to Richmond, I was just out there, like doing whatever. You know what I mean? Or mid to late 20s, just like it don't matter, one to the next. You know, but
another one.
That came down real fast. You know what I mean? It came down real fast. And then, you know, I just thank God that I didn't fully hit rock bottom to the extent that I could have. And, you know, it's a shame that the stigma is out there to bring it full circle that a man that can't keep a woman is not viewed the same. And
right.
hopefully conversations like this can help kind of bring that to light. You know what I mean? Like, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to have a double standard like that, and especially women that are single moms to be viewed in that way. I mean, they're doing all the work that two parents should do. You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, they're viewed like damaged goods, but yet they have to sit here and they have to try to be a mother and a father, and they have to do both roles, and that's not how it's designed to be. And I don't know. It's a tough subject to come across, and from a man cave perspective, I don't know many dudes that are around other dudes that would be as open and honest as maybe CJ and I are being about the situation, but it's hard, man. It's a hard topic, Charmaine.
Do you think it's because it's a lack of accountability amongst men? Because I'm not saying in my experience, it seems like sometimes men make excuses for their boys. Oh, that's just how he is. Man, he love you. Like, what? You helping him cheat on me? How does this work? I fight both of y'all. Like, that's what it is. It's like it's no accountability to where, like, man, like, you really got a good woman. You need to get your shit together. Like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
I can see that. Yeah.
Those conversations, like, because I feel like that dude, you running like, dude, we in our 30s. Why you still running through all these girls? Like, you can't find one. It's the dude. It's something wrong with all of them. Like, one of my ex-boyfriends, even after me, it was something wrong with everybody before me, and it's something wrong with everybody after me. But he's steadily posting his WCW like every week. It's a different one. And I'm just like, what is you doing?
If you got real dudes in your circle, like real grown men type dudes in your circle, they gonna keep it real with you. Like, yo, you effing up, dog. Like, you gotta get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of people you need around. You don't need yes men around you, man. I've been there, and that just leads down to a road of destruction. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have people around you to tell you that you messing up, and you're gonna destroy yourself. Because if you don't, then like you said, ain't gonna be no accountability. So, and you gotta be the same way for your people too, man. If I see one of my brothers, one of my homies, I'm like, bro, you ain't done, you tripping. So, You gotta have that kind of relationship with the people around you.
I got this thing, Charmaine. I've said it for a while. It's anything that happens when you're in a relationship, most of the time, it's the man's fault. Some kind of way you can find it back and root it back to something that we said, didn't do. Is there's a situation that happened that you could have worked out better, and a viewpoint like the one you have of there's no accountability and all that. Well, there's something that happens in a relationship that to create that viewpoint. So we as men in relationships are looked to as leaders, right? Like that's sort of we're protectors, we're leaders, we're mental support, all these things, right? So if something happens in a relationship, if we have an argument and I let it go on for days, weeks, right, where we're not speaking to each other, or it's here and there comments, and just getting by and stuff like that. Well, I'm as the man in the relationship, and I don't mean for any of this to sound sexist at all, so I'm gonna put that out there. But I should be the one that comes forward and says, you know what, that's my bad. I need help lead the situation out from where it is. You know what I mean? Like, I messed up. I shouldn't have said what I said, or whatever the case may be, and start the conversation. Now, if that leads into, well, I'm not sorry, okay, well, we can still try to push forward. If I'm not doing that, if I'm not actively working at the relationship, how can I expect her to do that too? You know what I mean? So
dudes is petty these days, Brad.
You're right. No, you're right. Hey, I can definitely be as well.
Niggas can go for weeks these days.
I was about to say Brad gonna get me in trouble because, bro, I'll be mad for 7 days. Like, for real, if I feel like I was not wrong and it wasn't me, and it's like I've been the bigger person before, I'm like, no, you're gonna give me my apology, and if you don't, I ain't got nothing to say to you till I get it. And then I won't like. It's like, I don't know, man, Charmaine, sometimes like with y'all, and I'm sorry, ladies, I'm not like trying to generalize or nothing, but it's like, why is it, let me ask you this now, we in the man cave, why is it so hard for women to apologize? Like, what is it? Like, why don't, like, you know what I'm saying? It just seems like it's so hard for women to apologize sometimes, like a sincere apology.
If we're wrong, then I don't know. Cause I apologize because I know I'll be a damn mess. So I'll go ahead and apologize. But some people, I don't know, it's that pride, it's that I don't feel like I was wrong. And it's the lack of self-awareness too. Sometimes we don't want to say, oh, I shouldn't have said what I said to him. My tone was wrong. I'm looking at this in a skewed view. We don't want to hold ourselves accountable for what we say and what we do. So that's why it can be hard to apologize. But if you like really sit back and assess the situation and you check yourself, you be like, I'm wrong. I need to go apologize to my dude. But some people like to keep it going and like that drama and to keep arguing. I don't know. Ladies in the comments talk, because I could be different. And I might take me a couple days. It might take me a couple days to apologize because I got to process. Okay. I have to process. I have to think. I have to make sure I got to get my mouth right because I come back quick. So I got to talk to myself. I got to talk myself down because I'm mad. First of all, I'm mad. That's why I want to apologize. I'm mad. Let me process, get myself together, and then I can come to you. But some people, they can just stay mad for such a long time. So I want to hear what the ladies got to say in the comments. Why don't y'all apologize?
Right, I'm trying to be like you.
Why don't we apologize? Yeah, you got to go and analyze for real. Like, why are you so mad about what he did? What is it that he did that made you so mad that you don't want to say nothing? Like, what is
people
it?
just
like,
hate people hate being wrong, I think, you know.
What's more important though? And this
is
is
what everybody is saying what I said. We gotta think. We need space to think and calm down, get ourselves together. Because
that's fair.
We're gonna bruise y'all ego and emasculate you, then we even worse. So what do you want? Silence, or do you want us to cut your legs off? Pick one.
Oh, man. But you said some real stuff.
What's more important though, from our perspective? What's more important? Is it my pride or is it the health of my relationship? Like if you choose to be in one, right? If you choose to be in a relationship, okay, that means you're actively saying yes to whatever is being brought to the table from the other person, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, what's more important then? Is it my pride and I'm right, I'm gotta be right? Or is it how can I rectify the situation? If I gotta be the first one to apologize, because I'm not trying to be mad for a week. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that energy going everywhere I go. You know what I mean? So I'd rather have the hard conversation and I'd rather eat whatever I gotta eat to get past whatever is slowing us down. You know what I'm saying? So as tough as it may be, because believe me, there's times where we've had a rough conversation, and I knew I was right. Like there's no way around it. Like there's nothing that anybody could say that I was wrong in whatever situation. But at the same time, I'm not trying to have an angry wife around the house the whole time just because I need to hold on to whatever it is that was said, and that I just gotta be right. Because then my son is not having as much of a fun. You know what I mean? Like him and I, yeah, and it's just not a good vibe. And I'm just like, okay, if I gotta go apologize for whatever it is that she's upset about that I did or said, whether I think I'm right or wrong, that's here nor there. Because 5 years from now, I'm probably not even gonna remember this conversation anyway, as far as like why we ended up in this argument. And if I do, it's probably gonna be funny. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna go ahead and get it out the way. You got your time to go analyze and think, as y'all say.
Yeah.
But once I feel like you're on the come down, I'm gonna try to address it again and get it out the way. And so I'd rather not let it linger. That's just how I view it. You know what I mean? Hey, if you're the type that wants to hold on to it, go ahead. You know, that's your relationship. Go ahead.
I'm working on that.
7 days.
I'm working on it.
That man said I need that 7 days. Okay, I hold on to it. Hey, I mean,
if that's healthy for y'all, that's healthy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong here.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all.
But I think too, it goes back to what Shandy said. Like it could be personality. I'm gonna see if I can put it back on the screen. It's about personality too. Some people
for sure.
like quickly get to it. You know, like I think about my mom and dad. Like my dad, he forgives so quickly. It's like insane how fast he does it. He just like, oh, don't mean nothing. It's okay. And I just like, nigga, what? But my mom, she got to take some time because she the killer. Like my mama is soft and sweet, but that's the ones you got to watch. The ones to be all calm and cool. It take her a little minute. She won't say anything. She will be silent. She will not say anything until she has thought about it and processed everything. And then she'll come back and talk. She's done that with me. I think that's with any relationships that we may have, whether it's with family or friends, just knowing what works for that person and what doesn't work for that person, and just giving them time to process it. Because if you come to me too early, you might get hurt even worse. And if you wait too long, I'm really gonna shut you out, and then it's a deeper issue. So it's like, I guess finding that balance and figuring out what works for y'all.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely that. Like, I need some time. Like, definitely more her than me. She's like, I need you to get out of my face, or there's gonna be a problem here. And so I'm not like, I want to always just let's just handle it right now. Let's see what happened, where it went wrong, and let's go back and figure it out. She's like, no, you need to give me space, or it's gonna be worse than it is right now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's right, Tracy. Like, I gotta write my notes. That's what I used to do when I was married, and even in my relationships now, I'll be like, okay, give me some time. I write down everything that I gotta say, and I bring it to the meeting. Because sometimes, you know, when you're upset, you say things you don't mean, and then you forget stuff that you do want to say. So, yeah.
You
So
too,
man, we need.
man.
It sounds like me and Shandy need to have a marriage podcast with y'all after this because she's speaking more than me.
She's being supportive, okay?
She is. Hey, she is.
Supportive, okay? So before we go to that next meme, I'm gonna go back to that question. She said it was what like with your childhood. So we can answer that real quick, and then we can go to our second meme. Y'all remember what it
was? It was what do we wish would have been instilled in us? I think that was the question, right?
Yeah. In regards to racism.
Ooh, how would I have liked to been prepared for it? I don't feel like I was prepared for it at all. So I would have loved to have some kind of, hey son, this is gonna happen. The world is gonna view you this way, this and that, because it's a lot of stuff that I think our generation, well, a lot of us, people like me, I don't know, I didn't grow up with my mom and my dad, you know what I'm saying? And I was, like I said, I moved around a lot. So I got bits and pieces from different male figures that was in my life at the time. So, by the time I started getting prepared for racism, I was already up in age. So, I would just love to got anything, to be honest with you, to prepare me mentally, because I went through some things in college and, it haunted me for years. It affected me, affected my criminal record and all kind of stuff that if I would have been prepared for it, I would have reacted differently. So I would have loved to got any kind of anything. So I did that,
I wish they would have done a better job of showing both sides of it. It's so kind of glossed over. It kind of gets like thrown in with like the Civil War and stuff. It's not really much time spent on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in there, and then we've got Abraham Lincoln and the Emancipation, and like that's all great and thumbs up. They got Black History Month, and it's just kind of like quick. You know what I mean? And we're talking hundreds of years of this, and they just skipping by. And I'm like, hold on, this. As you get older, you're like, there's way more to it than that. There's generations affected by this. This is not just some quick little moment in history here. This is centuries of time that have gone by, and this happened. And so, to try to just throw it in on the back end, you know what I mean? It's one of the biggest injustices there is. I mean, you lying to people. That's just you flat lying. Like you're not spending any time on it. You're just trying to mix it in with stuff and shove it down people's throat real quick, and with a chaser, and that's it. And I just wish I was more educated to all of it and gotten more of a firsthand account of it when I was in school. You know what I mean? Like they do a good job of bringing the firemen and policemen in for career day and stuff. Like, why can't we have maybe people that have firsthand experiences come in and explain to little kids like what it means to have had slavery in this country from the other side of the coin. You know what I mean? And how it's been how it's negatively impacted people, instead of, oh yeah, there was just some slaves that were here and the plantation owners and this and that's, and it's just this real quick thing. And obviously in elementary school, that's like way too heavy. But as you go up, spend time on it in every grade level. Like when you're in high school, like spend some for real time and bring in people that are educated that can explain that point in history to an effective level. You know what I mean? You can really in up through high school, you don't learn about it until you can go to college and then choose to attend a class. You know what I'm saying? On something like that. And so we're doing all of our youth a disservice by just relying on a history book to teach them about there's probably not even a word to describe how much weight that period in our history carries. And so to just skip by it is ridiculous.
It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So y'all, I'm gonna do this. I want to do this before I go to this because this next thing is kind of heavy. And I asked all my guests this. It took the guys last week a little second to figure out what they were gonna say, but there's no way that you can come on Purposely Petty and not give us one thing or one situation where you were petty. This is the petty meter. Okay. I believe everybody has a measure of pettiness, whether it's a whole lot of pettiness if you're like me, or if it's just a little bit. Now, granted, over here I say if you're not petty with a purpose, then you're being mean. You're being plain mean. So it's gotta be a reason. Can you think of one thing that you did that was kind of petty? It could be past, something present. This is the petty meter. This is like my favorite part of my show because
oh my God. Done a lot of petty things.
well, that's honest.
Pick one out of it.
You'll just pick one?
Let me think for a second too.
Yeah, think for a second. While they're thinking about that, I'm gonna give y'all some more of these announcements. Okay, so if you're like me, you are still trying to get your body together. I mean, it's not gonna be a summer body because we're almost at the summer now. It's gonna be a fall winter body, but it's gonna be good. You need to hit up the Fat Blasters. That is the joint with my brother. He is so passionate about making folks feel good in their body. So if you're trying to get in shape, I'm gonna play this little video real quick so y'all can see something. Ooh. Okay, so are y'all ready?
No. I need an example, maybe. Maybe that'll help me. What's an example of something that Charmaine is petty about?
How do you want me to, like, how legal do you want me to talk? Like,
I
don't know.
Yo, I said, Brandon got into his little nice self. I don't know right now. Or I've been trying to be okay because it's the last weeks of school, but sometimes I can be petty with my coworkers, not with my students. But it just depends on what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the coworker ones out because I might have somebody watching and reporting me to HR.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not even gonna say anything. I don't know, but I do have a story of one of my aunts. She was dating this guy, and she found out, of course, what was he doing? What do dudes normally do with their girlfriends when they say they're not doing something, but they really are? It starts with the C. Oh, y'all don't want to say it?
Hey man, black men don't cheat.
Black men don't cheat. Okay, he was cheating, guys. They didn't want to say he was cheating, and instead of doing all 4 of his tires, she only did 3, so he couldn't get insurance to fix it.
That's cold.
Okay.
Dang. Man, trying to pick
I
one.
wouldn't even thought to do that. That's crazy. 3 times instead of 4.
It's brilliant. If I ever have to, let me be quiet. It's brilliant. That's all I gotta say.
Man, I mean,
That's funny. They said not y'all covering for a stranger. It is, bro code. Hey, it's real up here. It's real.
Hey, so there was this guy. This was a few years back. I was friends with him on Facebook. I think he did music or something. I don't know, did tattoos or something. And I think he was a Trump supporter, if I'm not mistaken. And he had posted this picture of Barack Obama as like a Black Panther. It was a fake picture, but like he had everybody believing that it was like real and everything. So they were in this deep conversation. It's like 40 comments long, and they're going at it. And I just posted like the real picture under the comments. And like, man, he got super pissed off and started DMing me like, "What's your address? I'm gonna pull up on you," talking about shooting me. Oh, he was hot. And all I did was like was like posted a picture under the picture he had that was fake. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we kind of went back and forth a little bit. You know, I used to like pick at people on Facebook, but I don't do that kind of stuff no more. That's the rated G version of the pettiness.
Understood.
Not incriminate myself. I ain't never like ran off from Waffle House because they wasn't trying to. They was a little book that night. And I ain't never did nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think for me, my wife is right. On the road, if you're tailgating me, I will absolutely slow down, tap the brakes. I've even stopped in the middle of the road before. Like I will slow all the way down and stop in the middle of the road. If you want to tailgate, I try to be nice, tap my brakes, back up a little bit. But if you want to keep doing it, I'm gonna stop. I will stop dead in the middle of the road. I'll back up traffic. It don't matter. I mean, you're gonna get the hint at some point. That's probably the best example I can come up with. But
Charmaine ain't messing with you.
Okay. Oh man. Okay, guys, I'm embarrassed. I'm not gonna say it. Okay, so they say you the instigator. People who are annoying on purpose need to meet their man. For real. But I kind of feel you with that driving too close because I'll brake really hard too. Or if somebody got their bright lights on me, I'll turn my, the side mirror, I'll turn it all the way to the side so to blind them.
I never thought to do that. That's good. I'm gonna use that for real.
And then they put the lower beams down because you're not about to blind me on this road. Okay, so here. Why is you? Anyways, if you follow me on Instagram, there was this guy. This is probably petty too, but there was this guy who bullied me a lot in school. Right? I don't know if it's the retrograde or what's going on, but dude inboxed me. He was like, "Hey, do you remember me?" This literally happened today, y'all. "Hey, do you remember me?" He probably watching right now, and I don't even care. He's like, "Hey, do you remember me? Do you remember me? I'm just trying to. What's up, beautiful community?" I'm like, "Dude, do you remember you bullied me hard in school?" I'm just trying to figure. He's like, "Oh, you're not gonna respond?" I'm trying to figure out why you saying, "Hey, how you doing?" right hard. Like, dude, I cried over stuff you said to me. Like, get out my DMs. I'm fine now. Please don't get. So I guess this is petty. I'm talking about you on my show, and you just did another one after I didn't respond to the last message, and I'm not gonna respond to that either. In fact, I'm gonna block you when this joint is over. All right, so here's the next one. Yes, he was. Here's the next meme. Y'all, he was so mean to me. Okay, here it is. So male suicide rates are so high, it breaks my heart that men feel they can't open up because of that stigma. Men's mental health matters. Men open up, it'll be okay. So I don't want to say I hate, but people make it seem like it's so easy to open up. This is male or female. But it is a stigma around men and their mental health. How do you guys, I won't say curate experiences, but how do you provide safe spaces for yourself and for your male friends?
Man, that's heavy there.
Yeah, this is a good
one. I've experienced that, man. That's something I battled with my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So for anybody who's dealt with depression and from past experiences or things that's happened to them, it's hard, man, because there's been some point when you've opened up to people and then it gets thrown back in your face, or you open up to people and some people will treat it like it's a attention grab, or you open up to people and all they do is go talk about you to other people and you find out about it. It just makes you more of a recluse. It makes you more want to deal with it internally, which doesn't help at all because you just build this stuff up and then you explode. And that's why I think the suicide rate in men is so high, in black men or black women or whatever. It's because growing up, think of it growing up as a child and you would say anything about depression, or anything about anything in a black household, and it's you better depress your butt in there and wash them dishes.
Yep.
Better push your butt in there and make that bed up. You know what I'm saying? So like nobody ever took it serious until the world started saying this old mental health thing. And by that time, your mental health is destroyed. You know, and it's not an overnight fix. It's not a year fix. It's hard, man. Because just when you think you've got to the point that you've got control of it, something else happens and you realize you haven't made nowhere near the progress you thought you made. So it's an everyday struggle, man. And I speak for anybody out there who's went through anything like that and deals with depression, man. It's tough. I always tell people, look, just know that you're not the only person going through it. Because at the time you'll feel you could be in a room with 50 people, man, and feel like you by yourself. You know, and you just feel like nobody cares. And the best thing friends can do is to just encourage you and you know, try to uplift your spirits, because man, it's not a feeling I would wish on my worst enemy. It's the toughest battle of anything I've ever had to deal with, you know. And the first thing I know I had to do to begin to heal from a lot of stuff is to forgive people I never wanted to forgive ever. You know, that's the first. That's it took me so long to realize that if I don't forgive these people for some of these things they did to me, I'm never gonna even make any progress.
Yeah.
You know. So it's a tough conversation. I don't have the answers to them.
It's hypermasculinity is a problem in that aspect, because we're fed, you know, growing up, and maybe not nowadays, but growing up, you know what I mean, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like hypermasculinity was there, you know, it was present. You know, you got action heroes on like movies, and you know, some people in your peer group are, you know, oh, you hurt, suck it up, get back out there, you know, play through the pain, all those kind of things. And it's just like, you know, you can't cry, you can't have emotions, you can't feel any type of way, suck it up. And that's always like the answer, you know, rub dirt on it, get back out there. And to a certain extent, some of that is good, you know what I mean, to a certain level, but you can't be that way all the time. You know what I mean? You can't always just suck it up. You know what I mean? You gotta, at some point, that will manifest itself some kind of way, more often than not, in a very, very negative way. And so it's almost like the reverse is happening now, though. Like masculinity's been under attack lately, it feels like, for me anyway. Like it's, you know, I've seen commercials and just got upset. Like, why is the husband in this scenario like some idiot? You know, why is the wife's doing everything, he got all the kids strapped onto him, and he's just a dummy. He just do everything the wife say. Like why doesn't he have a voice? You know what I mean? It's sort of like fully course corrected in the opposite direction nowadays. And you know, that's a positive thing from a female aspect, where they now have a voice, and they feel like they now can share their side of things and their side of relationships and stuff like that. But going back to my previous point, like hypermasculinity has sort of caused this issue where guys just feel like, for whatever reason, they can't turn to somebody. I can't go to TJ and be like, yo, this just happened, this is how I feel, I don't know what to do about it. Like, for whatever reason, that type of conversation is frowned upon. Like, what do you mean, like, she hurts your feelings? Like, just get over that. You know what I mean? You're a dude, whatever, brush that off. You know what I mean? Oh, you hurt like that? Man, go tell somebody else. Get a therapist. I don't know what to say. And there's no vulnerability that's allowed between men. You know what I mean? When I was growing up anyway, especially among my peer group, it was like, whatever. You know what I mean? Get past it. And then there's an example. I actually just had this conversation earlier today about this example where last year, a younger guy, a buddy of mine, came to me and was like, hey, he was a black guy, and I feel good that he came to me about it and asked me his opinion. But at the same time, he came and he said, I want to have a conversation with my friends that are also black during this whole Black Lives Matter movement. And I want to just get together with them and talk about how I feel and see how they feel. Is that something you think I should do? Because I was advised that I probably shouldn't do that. by another Black man. And I was said, first and foremost, why are you asking permission for? Like, those are your friends. Go. If you feel like you want to have a conversation about the way you're feeling with the current environment and current culture, that should be applauded. That should be praised. And you should have a conversation about your feelings and about what it is that you're going through and what you think. And if you want to get on the phone with somebody and cuss everybody all the way down, then you should be able to express that, and that shouldn't be viewed in a negative way. I mean, otherwise, who knows? Maybe eventually you go out there and do something you otherwise wouldn't do.
Yeah.
If you just weren't allowed to have a conversation, and maybe Chichi could talk me off the ledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you a little extreme right now. You know what I mean? Maybe you need to work some stuff out before you do X or say Y. You know what I mean? But it's a very tough and lonely road at times when you're talking about a man expressing his feelings about any given topic, and depending on how you come up through the world, that can shape you. And mental health is a real thing. My wife works in the mental health industry all day, every day. It is a very real thing. And it's still being uncovered, and there are stigmas around it. And fortunately for us, there's people out there that want to help. And I would advocate for anybody that's listening to this or will listen to this to male or female, go talk to somebody if you have some issue. You know what I mean? Confront whatever it is that you're dealing with, and don't sit on it, because there's nothing good that's going to come from that.
Yeah. I guess I think one of my questions is how can we start fostering safe spaces to where we can feel vulnerable? And because I feel like the more vulnerable and the more open you are with a person, the easier it is for you to go to that person when you're feeling those things. And then just having check-ins. Like, there are people who I don't talk to them every day. I don't see them often, but they'll say, "You're in my spirit today." Well, I'm thinking about you. And they'll check on me because they remember when I would just be in the bed for weeks. Or either they would have to call me and pray for me so that I could sleep, because I've been up for like 5 days straight because my mind is just like going. So I feel like if we continue to create spaces to where we can be vulnerable and honest with each other about, hey, this is fucking with me. I'm not well. Yeah. Like, I used to have this friend where I would say, let's talk about all the things we're not good with right now. And it would go down a list. I feel inadequate. I feel small. I'm super depressed. I don't feel like I've accomplished anything. I hate the way I look. I'm fat as hell. I don't feel loved. I feel abandoned. I feel super rejected right now. I feel like I'm literally by myself. Or, hey, I'm feeling real weak today. I might just don't want to be here no more. I don't want to wake up in the morning. All those things that we can just be honest and open about saying. Sometimes it feels weird coming out your mouth because you're like, I'm supposed to be the encouraging one, the strong one for everybody, the one that makes everybody laugh. But when the lights go off, you just like, dude, I don't want to hurt myself, but I also don't want to wake up. So It's like, how do we create these spaces with our friends? Because honestly, everybody doesn't have the resources to even get professional help or to get therapy. Some people, their insurance won't call for it, or they just don't have the money. They don't even have $25 to talk to somebody online. So it's like, what can we do to help our friends and family who are in those spaces? Like, it's heartbreaking for me. That's why I try to be an open vessel if I can handle it, because sometimes I just can't. I'm just like, I don't have the capacity for that. Like, I really want to help you, so I'm gonna try to direct you over here. But at the same time, I try to be that space for people when I can. But for women, it's sometimes a little bit easier for us to do that because we'll naturally just talk. But for men, how do y'all do that, especially when you've dealt with it yourself? Like, do you look for signs? Like, what do you do?
And it's
And
heavy.
it doesn't even have to be answered right now. Like, the stuff that I'm asking, they're more so rhetorical questions. And for us to just, like, I guess, continue to create spaces or something, because it hurts me. It hurts me. Like, did I have male friends around me that they can talk to me, but they can't talk to their boys, or they can't talk? And it's people that they grew up with their entire life. And I'm just like, that's wow. It's wow to me.
It is.
Sometimes you gotta take a leap, though. Go ahead, G.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely everybody needs at least one person. Everybody needs one person that they can be their de facto therapist, you know what I'm saying, who will listen without them feeling like they're being judged, or that'll listen and try to give them some encouragement. Like you were saying about checking up on people. Sometimes you just don't even know that person messaging you out the blue saying, "Hey, I love you," or "Hey, thinking about you. I hope everything is good." Sometimes you never know how that can just break something that was about to go wrong in somebody's life, just to know, like, dang, somebody actually is worried about me, because sometimes when you're the strong person, your family, your friend bond or whatever, and you're always the one helping everybody, 9 times out of 10, you're not getting that same stuff back. So sometimes, man, like that one little message goes a long way. But to answer your question, you're right. I don't know if there's an answer to it to ever make men feel 100% comfortable with just being vulnerable to other people. Because I don't know, I have a defense mechanism. I'm always defensive, and I just always feel like it's an agenda, you know what I'm saying? And people always use something you give them against you in the end, you know what I'm saying? So it's like some stuff I just like, I'm gonna tuck that to the chest, you know what I'm saying? Just so can't nobody use nothing against me. So I don't know, man. I guess the first thing is gonna start with you. It's gonna start with us and ourselves to, like Brad said, take a leap of faith, and and just say, hey, blah, 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 I'm feeling like this, and just see how it goes. But it's just getting yourself to make that leap of faith is the part I don't know how to get somebody to do that.
Sometimes it's just a matter of letting somebody know that's in your circle that even if there's no signs, right? Just if you're somebody's friend, just letting them know that you're there.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't know if anything's going on, but if you need to say something, you can say something to me. And just opening the door and leaving it to them. And even that, I mean, you never know what can come from that. And you know what I mean? But you got to actually mean it, though, because people say that stuff all the time, too. You know what I mean? Hey, if you need anything, let me know. You know what I mean? But that should never be a fruitless statement. You know what I mean? It should never be empty, rather. And so if you don't struggle with those kind of inner conversations, that's not to say that somebody else doesn't. So then be the bigger one, be the stronger one to say, hey, I'm here if you need me. You know, I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? Not trying to be weak or whatever you want to say, but you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just okay. It's all right to talk and let somebody know that it's cool to have a conversation if they need to have one, and be that safe space for somebody else. And you know what I mean? More often than not, I would say, my experience anyway, they'll reciprocate. You know what I mean? You'll be able to, in your time of need, they'll be able to be there for you too. But this conversation needs to happen more often. I will say that. You know what I mean? This question needs to be asked more in more circles. You know what I mean? So it's a large reason why we have the stigma still, you know what I mean, of what we do with guys. And you gotta let somebody know that it's okay to be vulnerable before they will be. You know what I mean? If you just say, yo, tell me what's going on today, and they don't know that you got their back, I mean, the walls are gonna be up. So you gotta make sure you come with a vibe that's gonna be welcome, and make sure that you do got their back.
Absolutely. Well, this might be the perfect segue for how I end my show every single week because it is 10 something and I still got to teach in the morning. But but every week at the end of my show, I always ask the guest to take about 30 seconds, the guest host to take about 30 seconds to encourage a viewer or somebody who might listen to the podcast a little bit later. Like you said, we never know what somebody's going through. We never know what they're experiencing. We never know what they're feeling. But some type of word of encouragement to, help them to get through the next week. So while y'all think about what you want to say, I'm going to do this last thing and then y'all can go. For the people who are watching Purposely Petty right now, make sure you go subscribe to my YouTube channel and take a peek at my website, www.alwayscharmaine.com. I'm here every single Thursday at 8:30. The new series, A Peek Inside the Man Cave, is going to continue next week. I'm gonna be real turned because that's the last day of school for me. So make sure y'all tune in next week. But I'm gonna let our guest host, and thank y'all both so much for coming up here and being so vulnerable, open, and honest. I love you both. Thank you so much. So yeah, take it away. However you want to end it.
I'll go ahead and say amen. In the great words of the great late Nipsey Hussle, man, the marathon still continues. Life is not a sprint. It's a marathon. You might fall down, get up. I promise you, somebody's always going through something worse than you. That's the motto I live by. You just got to keep going, especially if you got kids, if you got family. Somebody's counting on you somewhere. And marathon continues, baby. That's it.
I don't know if I got a full 30 seconds, but give people their roses while they can still smell them. I love Andre 3000. So just if somebody's on your heart, let them know. You know what I mean? We talked about it at length, but if you're a faith-filled believer, stand on your faith. You know what I mean? Everybody knows what the word says, and don't let people steal your shine. So there's a million and one cliches, but if you ain't got nobody to talk to, Charmaine, I don't know if you're going to post our social media tags and stuff like that, but you can talk to me. So that's real. I don't care if I know you or don't know you. You know what I mean? Hit me up if you got something to say. So
Brad said he ain't on social media like that, but hit him up.
I mean, I still get a notification.
I'm just joking.
That was petty. That was petty.
I'm just joking. For real, y'all. This has been episode 21. Get Your Mind Right with guest host Chi Chi and Brad. Everybody have a great and safe weekend. Take care of yourself, and I love y'all. Good night.